Dusty May, the first Big Ten coach to ever win the Big Ten tournament in his first year. It is all over in Indy. Michigan is your 2025 Big Ten tournament champs. They get it done 59-53, and they're cutting down the nets. A lot of smiles all around the Maize and Blue Nation as Michigan is able to win the 3 games to capture the tournament crown, and now await to see if they get a 3 seed, 4 seed in the NCAA tournament on Selection Sunday. Keeping you company, Dennis Fithian here on the Michigan Postgame Live Show. We're here after every Michigan basketball game, so we've been here for the last 3 days. And U of M wins this one. This was not one. It was a little bit off script for U of M in that they've won some games. They've won a lot of close games, but normally they don't win a close game how they won it tonight. And that was at the charity stripe, knocking down free throw after free throw. And normally, when you are going to the review at the end of games in the official stand over there for watching TV for an hour, you usually, it seems like whether you come out on the short end, but it's back and forth 3 straight times. Michigan was able to get the ball. All of them were completely obvious, irrefutable video evidence. If it would have gone the other way, I would have had to, make a beeline down to Indianapolis. It didn't. They got the call right. They went over there, took them, whatever to get it right. They're all completely obvious, and they did get it right. But man, it is a little nerve-wracking when it's down there like that, and you're going to the video review. You're thinking, oh, they had a chance. Oh, they had a chance. Oh, man, this is their chance. But then they got another chance and another chance. They didn't get all that many second chances during the game with the offensive rebounds that Wisconsin was getting. Wisconsin pounded Michigan on the glass, and they were getting the second half points. But in this game, let's go through it a little bit. We'll take all of your feedback. We like taking the feedback from the people, and the Michigan fans are going to be pretty excited about this one. The Big Ten Tournament Championship game in Indianapolis. Quick turnaround, one day, that's it. And this was one of the ugliest first halves that you're going to see. It was, you insert all the jokes about putting basketball back, 50 years, 100 years, or whatever else. 23-21 Badgers at the half. And you're just thinking, and Michigan missed 2 layups. Gale had a layup, and then Cheddar in the first half missed a layup. Or you're thinking, Michigan should be up in the first half. The shooting percentage is 17%, 16% for Wisconsin from downtown. Like, I wonder if Dusty May was telling us, let's not shoot threes. Let's not. But then they came out, first shot in the second half was a 3-pointer. And it's like, is this really going to be the way that they're going to go down by not being able to knock down an outside shot? Answer, no, it wasn't that way. But in the early going in the second half, it was U of M continuing to miss from outside. And then they were missing from inside. They were driving to the lane. You're like, oh, that's the way to do it. Missing layups. It just didn't look like it was going to be their day, but they hung around like Matt Damon in Rounders. They keep hanging around. They had a chip in a chair. They just kept hanging around. And with under a minute to go, Vlad got fouled, and he put Michigan up, knocked both of his free throws down after the previous possession. It might have been the previous possession of that one, but late in the game, Vlad got fouled, and he walked up there to shoot free throws, and he missed the front end of a 1-and-1. You thought, oh, here we go again. This is Michigan to come all this way, and that's the story, to miss free throws. But no, Vlad got fouled, and he put U of M up by 2. And then Trey Donaldson got fouled with 14.3 seconds to play. He needed to make these free throws, and Trey Donaldson did. He made both of them. And then Danny Wolf with whatever it was, 0.4. He made, I don't know, it's worth mentioning. They didn't need him, but it's worth mentioning because Danny Wolf, after yesterday's game and some of the other times that he missed from the charity stripe, he knocked both of his free throws in, and Michigan ends up winning it 59-53, and they're cutting down the nets. The statistics are not going to look great when you have a half where you're only scoring 20 points and you only score whatever it was, 59 to win the game. But there's Donaldson with 11. Vlad had 11. The Wolf of State Street, 8 and 8. Burnett, how about this crazy 8? 8 and 5. So 11 and 11 for Trey and Vlad. Wolf and Burnett, 8 and 8. And then Reuben Jones with 5 points. And he was not bashful. Reuben Jones was like, I'm going to shoot threes. And he was just casting them up there left and right. 1 of 7 for Reuben Jones. And one of the bright spots in this game off the bench, I'll say 2 bright spots. LJ Cason played his best game for Michigan. I think if LJ Cason doesn't have his little spurt, he ignited Michigan. Michigan, I don't know, what do we say? Would you say, I'll ask you, were they dead in the water? And then Cason drained a 3. And were they dead in the water? Michigan, it was about 9 minutes into the second half, and Michigan had not been to the free throw line. No free throw attempts. That was pretty wild. But Cason drove the lane, got fouled, knocked free throws down. And then Cason hit another 3. He ignited this Michigan team. The freshman from Lakeland, Florida, ignited this team to get him back in there and think, oh, hey, maybe we got a shot. Yeah, maybe. And then Will Cheddar. Give me 5 Will Cheddars. Give me 6 Will Cheddars. Give me 7 Will Cheddars. And I'll win something. Cheddar was at it again today. 6 boards, 6 rebounds. Cheddar played outstanding defense again. He got robbed a bunch of times. He's standing there. What is he got to do? He's standing there. Guy bowls him over. Whistle goes. Foul on Cheddar. What? Oh, Cheddar got robbed, but he's feeling pretty good about everything right about now. And Roddy Gale, we'll see. Was it a hammy? He was grabbing at that's usually what it is when you're grabbing at the back of your leg, like Roddy Gale Jr. was. We'll see if he's going to be ready to go. We don't know if he's going to be, he's dancing around. Michigan's dancing. We don't know if it's going to be the Thursday or Friday game. Michigan should play on Friday. And we can all agree on that as we're sitting here and they're putting it out there. If they don't get the 3 seed, they could get a 3 seed. They could get a 4 seed. That committee is already all drunk. They're already, they go in on Sunday. They're like, hey, who cares? We've already done our work, and, air quotations. And they sit around there. They've already got it drawn up, what they're going to do and where they're sending everyone. And they don't care what happens. But maybe they looked at it, and good. I'm glad Michigan's not on that 5 line. I don't want a 5-12 matchup. I always pick 3, sometimes all 4 12s when I'm filling out my bracket. I didn't want Michigan to be a 5. And then ironically, as I say that, and then knowing myself, always picking the 12s, I was when I turned on the TV earlier today, they had a little feature, and it was the 5 12s and how the 12s are known to come up with the upsets. But Michigan's not going to be a 5. They'll be a 3 or a 4. So we await that to see where they go. But they definitely, having played this knockout, drag-out game against the Badgers, and everybody else is, sitting around, already had their treatment, heads on pillows. They're going in their sweats after their massages and treatment, and they'll find out where they're going. Michigan's banged up. Yeah, the adrenaline's flowing right now. But so I would think that Michigan's going to get a Friday game. How about Friday at 8 o'clock? If you're the Big Ten tournament champ, then you have to play till Sunday. Let's give Michigan something there. Let's give them, I know there's later games, but 8 o'clock is okay. That gives you a little bit of the morning to get some treatment as well and get yourself ready. Before we get to the feedback, how about the stat of the game? It is brought to you by the Maize and Blue Review. Stat of the game, 11-2 run to close it out for Michigan. And this was a hairy situation, the whole thing. You didn't think Michigan was going to win this game. It was an ugly game. It was a fugly game. And then U of M goes on an 11-2 run to close it out and brings it home with the free throws at the end. And those reviews, and they're the champs. And you can get a hat, you can get a shirt, and you can party with that stat of the game. What about the play of the game? Well, I'm going to go to the free throws by Vlad Golden. Boy, Vlad was in there. Vlad was getting beat up. And how many times is Vlad, he gets the ball, and there's just the Tanjay, I don't know if he mugged him from behind. Normally, you get towards the end of the game, they let a lot more stuff go, but it looked like a foul. I'll say it looked like a mugging. Should have been a foul call. And that one actually did go off Vlad, and Wisconsin had another chance there. But Vlad was all the time. In the first half, he was standing there and just playing the verticality. He wasn't even leaning in. He's just standing like a red oak right in the middle of that lane. These guys are plowing into him. Boom, taking it. Sometimes, you're the aggressor. The offense, a lot of times they get that call. 2 no calls in the first half where I thought that they could have whistled Vlad. On one of those, they went down, and Trey Donaldson got called when the Badger player's falling over. He got called for an offensive foul. Yesterday I was complaining about the people saying, oh, the refs, they suck. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But the refs did suck today. I mean, the refs, I was keeping track of questionable call, or is that a bad call? And it was like, oh, that's a bad call on Michigan. Oh, that's a bad call on Michigan. I didn't keep doing it in the second half. But in the first half, trying to be as objective as I possibly could, I thought Michigan was coming out for the second day in a row on the short end of the whistle. Doesn't matter now. But I felt it a little bit. Somewhere CK was like, oh, you're going to go pat the refs on the back again today after this one? No, I'm not. This should say 25-9. Michigan gets up to 25 wins now. And there they are as we get ready to get some of these feedback and see what everyone has to say about this one. It was a roller coaster. You needed to buckle up, and you needed to hang in there. The majority of this game was a tough watch, and the majority of the game, it looked like Michigan was going to lose. Mr. Martini likes that the questions have been answered. SW Lion 26 likes the turnaround, and now he hopes they can keep it going for 6 more games. Ooh. What does this do for Michigan's tournament prospects? We got to see the road, which is always the easy way out. But if we were talking Friday afternoon or any of the time before last week, you'd say, if Michigan wins 1 game, they'll be lucky in the NCAA tournament. I would say that's what 90% of Michigan fans. There's always that 10% like, Michigan's great. They don't care what happens. They're just going to pick up the win and keep it going a run. Those people are feeling pretty good. I told you Michigan would make a run. I don't know. Maybe you did. But now I think the calculus has changed. There's no the feeling has changed about what Michigan can do in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, they're tired, but they broke through. And just like shooters shoot, but shooters when they're not shooting and they're not making them, and they just get the ball to go through the hoop. Sometimes that gets them going. I mean, you've heard that a million times. It's true. And sometimes teams, they just get that win, and then they get another one. They get a taste, and they get that championship, and it dials them in. Can this team, the Big Ten tournament champs, make some noise in the NCAA tournament? My answer is yes. Yes, they can. I feel like they can get through the weekend. And if you could get through the weekend, if you're sitting there in the Sweet 16, I don't know what the matchup is, but they get through in the Sweet 16. They start feeling like, can they win another game? Didn't help that Gale Jr. went down. I know it can sound a little weird to people, knowing that how much we've talked about the up and down, the roller coaster that is Gale Jr., but, they're shorthanded as it is. Pippen wasn't in Indy. I don't think we're sitting around thinking, well, I hope Sam Walters. Yeah, sure. I hope Sam Walters can play too, but he's been on the shelf for a month. You're going to dust him off and suddenly, think he's going to be the answer? So they're shorthanded. We'll see about Gale. There was a couple times there. Trey took an awkward fall down, and then Wolf's got to be gassed. I mean, he's beat up. He looks like a boxer. He looks like Rocky Wolf. And then Vlad's always getting punched in the face. He's taking body shots. He's on the ground. He's wincing. Go put him on ice for a couple days. He's going to need it. But yeah, I think that what you're saying is that they can win a few more games. Now, talking about 6 more games. FL talking about it wasn't a thing of beauty. No, it was not a thing of beauty. But when you win, would you have rather had entertaining game? Woo! Look at that, threes everywhere. Oh, they're draining. Oh, Michigan loses. I'm going to tell you right now. Fancy Lion wants me to tell MSU the Big Ten Tournament Championship is more significant than the regular season. Okay. Now, I don't believe this, but here, if you want to, it was pointed out to me yesterday, and I think it's accurate. If you want to take that angle, you say, you know what? Yeah, it's the long haul for Michigan State, what they had to do. But Michigan in 3 consecutive games, shorthanded, and then you just take a look at Michigan's team. They had a first-year head coach. They had 8 freaking transfers, and then 3 freshmen. The turnaround and the complete overturn of this roster for Dusty May, who had to have everybody's name tag on the front of their jerseys, like, who's this guy? Where are these guys? To have them come together and coalesce over a season that was a rocky road that stayed, and they stayed in the hunt for the regular season title up until the last week. And then they went to Indy, and then they got theirs. I'm going to tell you, that's pretty impressive. And you want to make the case that it's more impressive because of that, then do it. There's your way to, stick it to MSU if you want. And you know what? MSU's, that was last week's news. If their guy that was, Billy Badass out at the mid-court shoving people around, Barksdale was on his corner yesterday, taking a bad foul, taking shots at somebody on his corner. Avon Barksdale. Avon Barksdale says it. Like he's not in for just a regular game. He plays a certain way. Cost Michigan State the game yesterday, or Michigan State could have been playing today and trying to win a double-double. Instead, they got their tail between their leg a little bit. That's honest. There's your narrative, FL. Here's BK, who I told I was thinking about during the game. How did Izzo get Coach of the Year? Is the Big Ten punishing Michigan basketball too? Well, they won the regular season title. Now, if they took a vote now, that vote would be a lot closer. If Wisconsin would have won today, there would have been a lot of Badger fans saying, "Hey, we were picked 12th." Well, State was picked 5th. I don't know. Michigan wasn't picked in the top 5. Yeah, I don't know how much you usually say. The preseason polls are meaningless. I'll tell you what, Tom Izzo can have his Coach of the Year. And let's see. Michigan's got a ring. Let's see what happens next week. We'll take more. Hell of an accomplishment. Just from Lion 26. He's hoping they can mentally recharge for the tournament. It's win or go home now. No truer words have ever been written. Hadley's into it. He's been here all 3 days. He says this was probably one of the lowest scoring games for the Big Ten tournament. They're saying a number 3 seed for the Big Dance. It's great to be. Well, if they are saying it, let's go. 6:05. Maybe I better get the TV on here just to see. You know, they say 6 o'clock, but they're just going to be sitting around. Are they going to have Charles Barkley on their head and watch the game all year long? Kenny Smith, like, Auburn, Kenny's going to be saying something about North Carolina, and Chuck's going to be talking about Auburn, and they haven't watched the game. But hey, they're entertaining. I'd rather have Clark Kellogg. And let's see here. Let me just dial it up. I know that they're not putting any. Well, they are putting some up here. I take it back. We've got our first one. We'll roll out the brackets as they come on through. We got Ole Miss. Friday, Iowa State. They'll take on Lipscomb. Did I know that Lipscomb had a team? 5 in the South? Is that what somebody just said to me? Let me see. I'm getting a text. Keep bugging him. Maybe I got a message coming on through here. Awful. A 5 seed in the South is the message that I'm getting. Fast forward all the way down here and see if the people are saying the same thing. That is what they're saying. A 5 seed in Denver. Ferris talking about San Diego. I thought they were going to wait a couple minutes. Michigan State will play Friday. They'll play Bryant. So there it is. Michigan's also playing on Thursday. I don't like that. There it is. Michigan will play UC San Diego, and then, Texas A&M. That's a tough draw. I like Texas A&M. And then they got to be in the Auburn's region.
Played in the ACC tournament championship game and end up being in that AC. We're going to go down to the bottom of the bracket now, and obviously the North Carolina situation. It'll be interesting to hear.
No, hey, I don't like the 5. Like I said, that committee's already sitting around drinking margaritas, and they don't care what happens today. They're all wasted, and they're like, you just pencil Michigan in. They're a 3.5 point dog. They're not going to win. Let's put them on a Thursday too. Put them on a Thursday. Now that's a raw deal. put them on a short leash like that when they win the Big Ten tournament championship. So much for the celebration. I was over here talking about. Not happy about that. Nobody's going to be happy. Nobody's sitting here, oh, well, the selection committee. No, that's a bad job by the selection committee. That's a bad job. You want people to put their all into winning these into these tournaments, that people that go love, and then you don't get rewarded? There's no justification for that. Bad job, selection committee. Bad job having him as a 5 seed. Bad job playing him on a Thursday. Bad job if they're going to play Texas A&M and then they got Auburn up there. That is tough. That's a very tough drive. I'd like Texas A&M and Auburn. Yeah, I mean, not very good. I think this is the right way to say it. They have to play the last game before the selection, and then they give them a 5 seed playing on Thursday. Yeah, they made up this bracket last week. Not really. The NCAA hates Michigan, according to CK. Hey, what am I going to say? Oh, well, let's give them. No, that's bad. Hey, this isn't. What are they doing? Is this some kind of sanction that from football because they're mad at Jim Harbaugh? What's wrong with Dusty May? What Dusty May did? Dusty May stands on the sideline, represents Michigan, doesn't scream and yell constantly at the officials or his players. He's a class act. And this is how you reward him? That's not. They could end up playing Michigan State. Yeah, well, I'd be there for that. Committee must have went on a bender for St. Patty's Day and seated the teams while out at the bars. Yes, I think that's correct. What's coming in here? They didn't pay attention to what went on in Indianapolis. And that's a shame. Oh, they used to talk about, hey, how'd you do in your last 6 games? How about what have you done lately? Are you trying to de-emphasize the conference tournaments? You want teams sitting guys out? If Michigan was going to get a 6 seed, if they bowed out to Purdue on Friday, and that was the projection, hell, maybe they would have been an 8 seed the way this thing's going, but I don't know. If they knew that they were going to get a 6 seed, hey, or you can bash your head into a wall for 3 straight days. And hey, you can move up, get a 5 seed. I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't fair. They didn't pay attention to what was going on in Indy. In the Big Ten Conference, in any metric you want to use, was the second best conference in college basketball. And your team that won, I don't know, so maybe they didn't reload. Hey, we didn't get the quad. We didn't get all this information in the nets and everything because it's St. Patty's Day. Woo! And hey, let's screw over Michigan because football. And because of the animosity going on. Is that what's going on here? I don't know. It's no fun, that part. But, so. Now this is true. Keegan says they'd have been better off forfeiting the tournament and resting. Yeah, they'd have been better off playing Jace Howard and Ian Burns and those guys. Roll those guys out there. Let Kason play. That guy, Kason can play on. He could play for 10 straight days and he'd be okay. You can see his energy. He's not getting tired. But certainly Vlad and Wolf and Trey, those guys could have used the rest. It's disappointing. Well, the one thing for sure is that the commissioner, Tony BTT, will really stand up for Michigan and the improper seating that has gone on. Knowing the commissioner. Here's the spirit. This is the kind of spirit you need. Let's beat Auburn in the Sweet 16. Sam's coming around saying, hey, Big Ten tournament champs. Let's go. Are we all watching this together? Is that what we're going to do? Let's see. As they roll them out, I can't even see. It's not going. I should have had it all. I could have put it on there, and then I didn't do it. That's why you got to wait until you got to see the brackets to know what's going on. Oh, there's Wisconsin. Now they're all sitting around like, oh, yeah, woo, yeah, Wisconsin. Lost to Michigan twice, and they got a 3 seed. Montana. That's who Michigan played a couple years ago. I remember that game. That one's on a Thursday, too. I don't like it. Neither do you. And that's just where we're at right now. Not liking it. Ferris is saying, hey, Auburn doesn't like their draw. My friend Seth saying that A&M is the best offensive rebounding team in the nation. Hey, so that's what Michigan's up against, huh? If they get to the Sweet 16. Rip thinks Wisconsin deserves the 3 seed. Oh, no, he doesn't. He put in an LOL. Drew is coming in talking smack about oh, no, he's not. He's saying that Seth Davis is picking Michigan to lose the first game. Yeah, well, pretty ballsy. When you get to I was sitting here telling I didn't want Michigan. Boy, I didn't want Michigan on that 5 line because I always pick all the 12s or at least 3 out of the 4. That's the way those guys do it too. Mr. Martini. So, this is kind of fits the Michigan narrative. Enjoy the championship, and then let's send a strongly worded letter to the commissioner, and then there you go. That's the way it is. This is the penalty for Connor Stallions. Now, the conference tournament did not matter. This bracket was made way in advance. That's true. Oregon's a 5 seed. All right. So a little rain on the parade. Little rain on the parade. Did they show Michigan, or was Michigan out, cutting down the nets where they were like, oh, it's so that they let Wisconsin get in there? Let me see how it unfolded here. Who had the first response? Sparty got a golden ticket. And here we go. Let's see. They're talking to MSU. This Mr. Martini. Calvin saying that I'm a minute behind. I wasn't paying. I didn't think that they were. I didn't think they'll start breaking them out. It's been a while, since I've sat there and watched the whole thing. So that's it. Yeah, here we are. Ryan, he knew it. BK saw it. Yeah, the people were in on the front. And let's see. Dusty climbing the ladder and cutting down the net makes me happy. But yeah, then you go to this. Yeah, you didn't get a lot of time to enjoy this before you get upset about something. So what's the approach? Enjoy the conference title. Seems like a lot of people were firing up the St. Patrick's Day festivities this weekend. So a lot of green. That's not the luck of the Irish. It's just the luck of the draw. Truth be told, I don't like when St. Patrick's Day is on a Thursday or Friday of the tournament. It's too much. I can't handle it. Although I do recall one of my favorite endings ever in a game was on St. Patrick's Day. Just a few years ago, Michigan-Houston was on a St. Patrick's Day. And I went to the B-Dubs. That's right. I went to B-Dubs and sat right in the nobody sitting at the bar. Me and my friend went in there, sat down. After we had gone over to right next to the place was an Irish a restaurant bar, and they had a tent and everything. But they just had these little small TVs. Like, we're going to sit around watching Michigan on this little small TV. No, over to B-Dubs. Sat there right in the big, and then it was dead the entire evening until Poole hit that shot, and then the place erupted. Everybody was going crazy. Great memory. Great ending. What was my point? Well, so I've got a corned beef sitting downstairs. I've got some red potatoes and cabbage and carrots. It's all there. You just got to put it in the crock pot and get it going. But it's too late now. Not staying up till 2:00 in the morning. So I'm actually gonna, celebrate St. Patrick's Day on St. Patrick's Day, which is tomorrow. And then, forget about the draw. Yeah, and here's what Dusty May is going to say about the draw. Hey, well, we got to get ready to go on Thursday. Is he going to take a shot at the selection committee? It'd been nice to play on a Friday. I think I think he should. I think he should be honest about it. We just played our ass off for 3 straight days. At least they could do is give us a game on Friday. How about that? If they're going to stick us with a 5 seed. I'd like to see him say that. That's true. But does he want his team to think, oh, we got the shaft? That's the one part. You got to think of a lot of different things. The fans would like that. Yeah, Dusty, let's go. Tell those NCAA M&Fers to go stick it. Then his team's all like, damn, Dusty, we're all going to be tired on Thursday and nobody's giving us a chance. So you got to think that stuff through. First thing, you want him to go show his teeth and punch the NCAA, and tell them all to go to hell. But you got to think about your team and their psyche and how you want them thinking. You don't want them saying, hey, every year 2, 3, 5s go down to 12 seeds. You don't want to be on 5. That's. I don't know. These guys got to be on their phones. They know all that. Everybody's going to be tweeting at him. You guys got screwed. So that's what everybody else is going to say. I think Dusty puts a cocoon around him and says, guys, we deserved a 3 seed. For the way you played here and left it all on the line, we also deserve to have a game on Friday. But those things are out of our control. So I guess we'll just have to go out and win the whole thing. No, I don't know. Maybe he'll say that. What line's that from? I think Major League. We'll just have to go out and win the whole thing. Going to be tough for Michigan, but they go in on an extremely positive note. And the season already for U of M was a success prior to any shot being made in the Big Ten tournament. Meanwhile, they got that win on Friday. And that was a credit to them. They played their best game of the year. And you want to say they played better in right out of the chute in 2025 in California? All right. Those two games against UCLA and USC, they were tremendous. But they played one of their best games of the year. Love the energy, love the effort, love the passing. And then they came back yesterday, and something that they have not been very good at, they were great at, and that's rebounding. Man, they rebound that basketball. Back in the day, that was the cheer. I don't know, our ladies, that was their best cheer. I don't remember any of the other ones. That's the only one I remember. Rebound that basketball. Maybe that's because maybe I was checking out the cheerleaders too much, not listening to, or no, I wasn't. I was focused on the game, didn't really hear all that, but I would hear the rebound the basketball one. And then Michigan did rebound the basketball yesterday to give themselves a shot at winning this conference tournament and it is a championship. They get to cut down the nets. They get those shirts. They were not rewarded by the NCAA, but they're in the dance. The season has been now a rousing success. Let's see them win one game. Now let's take a shot. I'd like to see them. You want my prediction? Who's that second game? I didn't like. Oh, second game, Texas A&M? I'd like to see one win in a competitive second game. That's how I sit right now. I'll have to, I really like the Aggies. Admittedly, the one game I watched Texas A&M play, they played Auburn, and they kicked the crap out of them, and they looked great, man. I was like, wow, this is a team that I'm going to be advancing. And see, that sometimes is what happens when you get to these bracket scenarios. You like your team, and then you like this and you like that team, and then you see it and you're like, oh man, this is a tough draw. That's a very difficult draw for Dusty, May, and company. They should get a trophy if they win 2 games. If they make the Sweet 16, it'll be like making the Final Four after what they've been through. Win 1 game. If I'll tell you what, if Dusty May and Michigan win 1 game in the NCAA tournament on Thursday, and then they're going to play on Sunday, I'm crowning them. I'm crowning them champs. My champs. They'll be the champions of Southeast Michigan. They'll be the NCAA champs. We'll put an asterisk next to it if you want, but I don't care. I'm crowning them. We'll get some shirts made up. 1-3-1 and then maybe put a little middle finger up there towards the NCAA. Is that where I'm at right now? That's how I kind of feel. I have to think through it a little bit more. Maybe I'll start that St. Patrick's Day out now. Because I do have, not the food, but I do have some of the beverages ready. Maybe I'll just get that going, see how I feel in an hour or two after a couple of harps. Rip, you're right. I almost brought a can up, shook it up, and thought about shaking it in here. I do owe you, some kind of a party. That's true. I'm going to read some feedback on Michigan. Ferris is happy that Michigan got a banner. Then we are playing UC San Diego. So I will get lots of local coverage here in Carlsbad. I'm happy. So this isn't the team that Harbaugh coached, is it? The football team for his first job? I mean, he coached San Diego, but I mean, I don't know how many things are going on there in San Diego. Rip has some emojis going for the NCAA. Sam's all ready for a scout with UCSD. I tell they have no one over 6'8". Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking Michigan's going to win that first round game. But, that 12-5, I hate the 12-5. Extra fuel because of this. Nothing wrong with pointing out the disrespect. I'm there. Let's see if somebody complaining about Michigan. Stop complaining. Smash says real teams don't fear their draw, just win. It's not so much fearing it. It's about the injustice that was put on them by the selection committee. That's what it is. Everybody's going to be locked and loaded. Everybody's going to be fired up for the game on Thursday. But right now is the time to say, yeah, they got screwed. The NCAA selection committee is a joke. They should be playing on Friday. And it shouldn't be a 5 seed. I mean, it was so, yeah, I mean, you can lock in Ferris after today. Are the players sitting around like, oh, man, probably a little bit. I bet their phones are all like, great job, great championship. You guys got screwed. Hey, congratulations. They really blanked you. Hey, that's what it's going to be. That's what their phones look like. What time's the party back in Ann Arbor? Hey, it'll be, I don't know. So, that's the thing. If it was a Friday, maybe Dusty would be like, let's get this party started. Maybe they're celebrating St. Patty's Day on the way back. Corned beef and cabbage and all the green tea you can drink. I don't know. I don't know what a Sunday night bar scene in Ann Arbor is going to be like, but Monday morning, these guys got to practice. I don't think they can worry about it. I think they got to take St. Patty's Day and put it over here. I got to get ready for Thursday's game. Where's that game being played? Denver? They got to play in the thin air too? Is that right? Oh, no. Denver. That takes some getting used to, right? You don't just hop out of bed and go to Denver. I can just see Danny Wolf now. Woo! Woo! Short bench. I don't like it. Oh, boy. Brian says I'd trade with Illinois' draw, playing on the play-in on Friday in Milwaukee. Well, I'd like to play in Milwaukee. I don't like the play-in game, but I get what you're saying. William wants to know how many times we're going to get slapped in the face. Well, apparently, when the NCAA selection committee was in there and they were like, Michigan's always saying Michigan versus everyone. They're like, hey, let's just stick it to them. What the hell? It feels like it is a little bit, what's the word? Conflated. That what's going on with football has affected the selection committee, whether they're going to say it or not. I mean, that's what it looks like. Let's get Ward Manuel on the case. Let's do it. Stop crying, somebody is saying. I'm crying. It's not so much crying. It's pointing out the injustice. Let's see how that. Not even talking about the confetti. Let's get it. I could have just had it pouring down. Woo! Let's try it again. I'm gonna make one. See if I have any Michigan. I got some Michigan color. So, what else? Let's see what the people are saying. Reps ready? Tom Osborne. For those, that's back to '97, and they gave him a retirement championship. All of the teams Michigan beat have better seeds. That doesn't seem fair. Hadley asking me questions I don't know the answer to. I don't know, Hadley. I mean, I look it up and everything. You tell me. I mean, I got work to do. I'm sitting here tearing up my confetti for the finale here. Congratulations to Michigan. Let's see if I can get some of that in there. They are the champs. They go out there and really good. And they win it. It's not giving me the effect that I actually wanted, but so needed to do it. Well, regardless, Denver, wherever it is, yeah, you are going to have to clean this up. The associate producer's like, what? It's a cat sitting here. Double G, the General Grievous, is like, what? I don't want to clean all that up. Yeah, you're going to have to do it. Maryland got a 4. Yeah, the committee blows. So, but congratulations to Michigan. They didn't back into the tournament. They took the front door and kicked it down. And you got a little bit to be upset about. You got a little burr in your saddle if you're a Michigan fan. It's not all about, hey, what's your favorite term? No, it's about blank these M&Fers. So, there's that angle that a lot of people like, regardless. So, I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. And if you have been one of the regulars all year long, this is what we wait for. The NCAA tournament. Michigan's in. Michigan had a great 3 days to win a championship, beating Purdue on Friday, taking down Maryland yesterday. And then today, in the Big Ten tournament title game, they go out and they beat Wisconsin, ending the game on a 11-2 run, making their last 6 free throws to get it done at the charity stripe, and they're cutting down the nets. Dusty May, first ever Big Ten coach to win the Big Ten tournament in his first year. So that's a nice one. And so for selection committee, take this, stuff it in your pipe, and, Michigan's got a little edge to them now. Certainly the fans do. That'll do it. Take care. More to come on the Maize and Blue Review. All day, all night. We're talking about this draw and Michigan's prospects in the NCAA tournament. I might give you a little update on the corned beef over there on the Maize and Blue Review. For all of you that are members, we'll see you over there. For those that are not, remember, michigan.rivals.com. Hey, football practice starts on Tuesday. And I think, am I going to Ann Arbor tomorrow? I think I'm going to Ann Arbor tomorrow. And I think that it's going to be football talk. So tomorrow's show is not only going to be about basketball, it is also going to be about the start of Michigan football practice, the most anticipated spring practice ever. And it is, when you consider who the quarterback is, and you're also looking at the transfer portal and it being Sharon Moore's second year and the momentum that they gained by winning those last 3 games. And now here they are getting ready to go through their spring, which will culminate on April the 19th at the spring game. I'll see you out there at Michigan Stadium on April the 19th. Hopefully we get some pretty good weather, but tune in tomorrow at 2:00 where we'll go over all of it. That's going to do it. Take care, everybody, and have yourself a great day, a great St. Patty's Day as well. So long.